A business broker will ask you for 10% of your life's work. He'll ask for it on a number that never fully reaches your account. On a sale like yours, that's $500,000 of commission. He's paid on the whole headline price, including money you may never collect. Here's the math that owners miss, and it shows up on your closing statement. Your broker's fee is calculated on the total purchase price. Take a $5 million sale. In a typical lower middle market deal, only about 70 cents of every headline dollar arrives as cash on closing day. The rest sits in escrow for a year or two. Some of it becomes a seller note, which means you're lending the buyer part of your own sale price. Some of it turns into an earnout that only pays if the business hits targets after you've handed over the keys. So you walk away from the table with roughly $3.5 million. Your broker walks away with his $500,000 in full, in cash, that same day. He gets paid on the promise. You get paid on that promise only if it comes true. When an earnout falls short, your broker keeps every dollar of his fee anyway, and the slice he took out of the money you really received is closer to 15% than to 10%. There's usually a second fee on top. Most brokers charge a retainer up front, somewhere between $5,000 and $25,000, and plenty of agreements say you owe it whether or not the company ever sells. So ask this before you sign anything. Is the fee calculated on cash at close or on the headline price? A good broker will negotiate that with you. Most owners never think to ask. I'm James Bell, and I've sold 5 companies. Twice I hired a broker and paid the fee without a shred of regret. Twice I sold without one and kept the money. Once I hired a broker and it cost me the deal outright. None of this is financial advice. Here's the honest side, because a broker can absolutely be worth the money. What you're buying is a buyer list and a competitive process. A broker who works your industry every week already knows the 15 buyers shopping right now. He can run them in parallel so they bid against each other. That one move, having more than a single real buyer at the table, is worth more than his whole fee on most deals. A seller with one interested buyer is not negotiating. He's accepting whatever he's handed. The second thing you're buying is a shield. The broker carries the awkward conversations, so you keep a working relationship with the person about to own the company you built. He also keeps your staff and your customers from finding out you're for sale. A leak there can cost you the business before the deal ever closes. The third thing is time. Selling a company runs close to a full-time job for 6 to 9 months. If running your business badly for 9 months costs you more than the fee, then the broker paid for himself before he started. The paperwork is where I've watched good deals die, so read these 3 clauses slowly. The first one is the exclusive listing period. You're signing away your right to sell your own company for 6 to 12 months. If your broker turns out to be wrong for your industry, you sit and wait for that clock to run out while your best year is sitting on the books. The second one is the tail. After the agreement ends, the broker still collects his full commission on any buyer he introduced, usually for another year or 2. That part is fair. The trap is a tail written broadly enough to cover buyers you found yourself. I've seen an owner sell to a competitor he'd known for 30 years, 4 months after his listing expired, and still owe the broker $300,000 because the tail covered anyone in the industry. So demand a named list of his introductions attached to the agreement. Anyone who is not on that list belongs to you. The third one is the minimum fee. Plenty of agreements carry a floor of $50,000 no matter what the business finally sells for. On a smaller sale, that floor quietly turns into 20% of your price. Let me tell you about the one that went wrong because it taught me the rule I use now. I had a distribution business outside Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I put it with a broker who mostly sold restaurants. He didn't know my buyers. He priced the company off a formula, put it on a listing site, and waited. 9 months went by. 2 buyers came, and both were tire kickers who had never bought anything at that size. Meanwhile, my best operations manager heard a rumor and left, and my numbers softened. When I finally got out of that agreement, I called 4 competitors myself. 3 of them wanted the company. I sold it in 11 weeks for more than the broker's own asking price, and I kept the fee. The broker wasn't dishonest. He was wrong for my industry, and that exclusive period meant I couldn't fix it for 9 months. So here's how I decide, and it comes down to 2 questions. First, can you name 3 real buyers for your company today? If you can name them and their competitors or people already working in your industry, you may not need a broker to find them. What you need instead is a good deal attorney and a quality of earnings report, which is just an outside accountant proving your profits are real before the buyer starts digging. Those 2 together cost a fraction of 10%. Second, has the broker sitting across from you closed real deals in your specific industry in the last 2 years? Ask for the names of the businesses and the year each one closed. A broker with genuine buyers in your world earns his fee in the first week. A broker who lists your company on a website and waits is charging you a fortune for an afternoon of work. So before you sign a listing agreement, get 3 things straight in your head. Your broker gets paid on the headline price, while you get paid only on the parts that actually clear. So push to have that fee calculated on cash at close. The exclusive period and the tail decide what happens when the relationship goes wrong. So cap the exclusive at 6 months and attach a named list of his introductions. And the fee is worth paying when the broker brings you buyers you could never have reached on your own. Here's my one ask. Before you sign anything a broker puts in front of you, run it against the checklist in the free playbook. The link is right below. And if you're heading toward a sale in the next few years, subscribe. I'll keep walking you through the parts of selling a business that nobody explains until it's too late.